When I think Saudi Arabia, I always think comedy. I think we can all fondly remember those Saudi sitcoms we grew up with, you know? Like It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. That's one of my personal favorites. You know, How I Bought Your Mother, that's another great one. Faulty Twin Towers, that's great too. They got the Riyadh Comedy Festival happening in September. They wanted to do it on 9/11, but apparently the organisers were busy. What would your set even be? You know, you're coming on stage being like, hey, take my wives, please. All right, so a blonde, a brunette, and a redhead walk into a bar. I mean, I assume. I actually don't know. You'd have to ask their husband. Was I doing some classics? Like, hey, why did Jamal Khashoggi not go to the party? Oh, he had no body to go with.
To say those performing in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia are taking a lot of heat is a severe understatement.
Thank you. It's so great to be here at the Saudi Arabian Comedy Festival. You know, originally I was going to say no on moral grounds, but then I saw that giant stack of money you guys offered me, and I just couldn't say no. How do I wash all that red stuff off of it, by the way? It's great to be here. On the way over, I found out music is illegal in Saudi Arabia. I said, oh my God. It's just like Footloose, just without Kevin Bacon or regular bacon. You guys remember that scene in Footloose where Kevin Bacon moves to that town to teach everyone to sing and dance, and then they stone him to death for being gay? Pete Davidson's here. Make some noise for Pete Davidson. Yeah, maybe he'll bomb here, and then you guys can call it even. All right, I think it's time for some crowd work. What do you do for a living?
I'm not doing it.
That is good. I admire that.
Then they doubled the bag, and I was like, so I'd already said no. I took a principled stand.
Yeah, against Saudi Arabia.
I mean, how do you even promote that?
I've been getting a little bit of flack just because, like, my dad died 9/11, so they're like, how could you possibly go there?
The Riyadh Comedy Festival has the entire industry split. Look, is it any shock folks like Kevin Hart, Dave Chappelle, Louis C.K., The Flagrant Crew, Sebastian Maniscalco, or even other podcasts like Bad Friends would go? Not really, no. But
just like us, to like, you can talk about anything, you know, other than a couple things, which was basically, you know, religion, don't make fun of the royals. Everyone was happy. The people that were doing the festival were thrilled. It was a mind-blowing experience. Definitely top 3 experiences I've ever had. And it was great to experience that part of the world and to be a part of the first comedy festival over there in Saudi Arabia. I think it's going to lead to a lot of positive things.
oh, for sure, dude. You know who you sound like?
But isn't there a danger that you're also being seen as a tool of sports washing, an attempt to try and improve the image of a human rights abusing regime through sport, and that ultimately you could be seen as a Saudi stooge, and that could tarnish your legacy? Is that you comfortable with that?
I said earlier, I don't condone human rights violations. I don't know how I can be any more clear. I understand your question. But again, I love this game of golf. I've seen the good that it's done.
You said something in a Sports Illustrated interview, and you just said it again this morning. What happened to Jamal Khashoggi is awful, but I've seen the game of golf, the good that the game of golf has done throughout history. No matter how successful this tournament could ever be, it can't counteract someone being murdered, can it?
No, nobody here condones human rights violations.
That guy. And hey, by the way, Bill, the killings haven't ceased because Phil swung a club or you did a set. Maybe, though, we should have seen this coming all along.
And then you have other comedians like myself where as I'm going to the airport and either Nia or the taxi guy is going, what airline? I'm looking it up in my phone. So I get there and I go, who am I doing this private show for? And they said, oh, it's a poker tournament with a bunch of oil men. There's like 10 billionaires, the rest are millionaires, and there's a couple of bankers there, right? So here I am now feeling like Beyonce, you know, when she performed for those dictators after all my time talking about, blood money and all that. Here I am going out there. I should have put on a little glitter dress and danced like a and I go out to go do this benefit. right? Because I just said yes because I saw the money. So right now, all my credibility, you know, beyond me being a is out the window at this point because I still did the gig.
What really gets me, though, is this. Chappelle, in his set, stated right now in America, they say that if you talk about Charlie Kirk, that you'll get canceled. I don't know if that's true, but I'm going to find out. The Times would add, a headline act, Mr. Chappelle was met with whoops, cheers, and applause as he told an audience of 6,000, it's easier to talk here than it is in America. Abdul Rahman Muhammad, a 23-year-old dental student, was quoted as saying, I find it so interesting to hear political jokes targeting Trump and Charlie Kirk. It was surprising to hear him talk about it in Riyadh, when just recently America canceled Jimmy Kimmel doing the same. David Cross, meanwhile, would go scorched earth on the comedians participating in this charade. What do you think? I think I am disgusted and deeply disappointed in this whole gross thing that people I admire with unarguable talent would condone this totalitarian fiefdom for, what, a fourth house, a boat, more sneakers? In his next paragraph, he wrote, we can never again take seriously anything these comedians complain about unless it's complaining that we don't support enough torture and mass executions of journalists and LGBT peace activists here in the States, or that we don't terrorize enough Americans by flying planes into our buildings. I mean, that's it. You have a funny bit about how you don't like Yankee candles or airport lounges. Okay, great. But you're cool with murder and or the people canning of women who were raped, and by having the audacity to be raped were guilty of engaging in adultery. Got any bits on that? He'd write of how Dave, Louie, Bill, and Jim are heroes of his, and really just how let down he was by their actions. How can any of us take any of you seriously ever again? All of your B-word about cancel culture and freedom of speech and all that blank done. You don't get to talk about it ever again. By now, we've all seen the contract you had to sign. You're performing for literally the most oppressive regime on earth. They have slaves, for F's sake. I don't understand how being rich can make someone such a This is truly the definition of blood money. You might as well do commercials for Lockheed Martin, unless you open your sets with, this is dedicated to all the widows and widowers and kids orphaned by this bloodthirsty, oppressive regime, especially from the zany shenanigans on 9/11. Never forget, MFer. All right, so it's great to be here. I'm going to be killing it tonight, but in the good way, straight up, no MBS. Then your hypocrisy will never not be noted.
Don't touch him. Don't touch him. He's in my. Are you in my accounting class? Yeah! What up, bro? What's good, bro? How are you? Look at this guy. This is terrible. Is this serious? Oh my God! I have no idea. We're seeing. No.
This video is of proud Nazi Kenneth Leland Morgan of Athens, Georgia. Here he is striking a woman in the face. This man, by the way, is 33 years old. He was arrested for his actions. And not only that, here is his mugshot for all to see. That is a beautiful sight to behold. He was booked on 2 charges, simple battery and aggravated assault. These incidents, however, continue happening.
Hey, what's your name? Adolf Hitler. Adolf Hitler, huh? Why are you doing this?
Mexicans and Jews.
Mexicans and Jews? What about Mexicans and Jews?
Illegal immigrants and Jews.
No, you guys are the illegal immigrants. You need to read a book. You need to be educated before you make assumptions like that and you do some stupid. Huh?
You want to see ice?
Sure.
Yo, we're showing up at your house.
Yeah? Where do I live?
Yo, follow me to my house so I can chop you up like a cartel.
Oh, really? Are you sick in the head? Do you got issues? You got issues?
You want me to be sick in the head?
I'm just asking because you seem like you are. Who walks around? Who walks around like this with what's going on? Like, come on, man. Have some respect for humanity.
I have fear of Trump.
Trump is nothing but a evil man. You guys are his puppets.
I don't care.
Yeah, I can tell. People like you have no education, have no direction.
Sorry, are you MS-13?
Do I look like MS-13?
Yeah, with all the tattoos all over your face.
Yeah. The real criminal here is you.
Good.
Good, huh?
Yeah.
So what's your name again? You know God's watching everything, right? And there's a place for people like you.
Sure.
It might not be in this world or this earth.
Bro, make up your judgments.
Make up my judgments?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Make up all you want, bro.
I'm not. That's just the real. It's real. It's real life. You need to comprehend.
I don't care, bro.
I can tell, and that's sad for you. That is. You're not gonna have a future. You're not gonna have no one's gonna want to bear kids with you.
I know.
It's sad, bro. I hope you get the help you need, though.
Nah, I'm okay.
No, I hope you do. This is not your street.
I go down there.
I can follow you and record you all I want. If you don't like it, don't dress up like an idiot.
Don't be a bitch.
I mean, that's what you want, right? You want the attention. You want people to know you're here. You want people to hear your voice. Come on, this is your chance. What else you got to say? Exactly. It's so sad, bro. So sad. There's people in this community that will help you because you got issues, but not the way you're acting. And I hope you find peace and love.
That they are born of magic and fire, and so are all of we. You don't do that here.
From concerts where the band threw down.
The only way that they win is we retreat, and we're not going to retreat. We're not going to surrender. We're not going to quit. Fight, fight, fight. Amen.
Steve Bannon.
Yeah, I got it.
Yep! That was a swastika on that motorcycle. It's gonna be your favorite stop of the night. Yep! That was the symbol of Nazism welded to a guy's motorcycle and just a police officer getting real lovey-dovey with him. You know, I cannot believe that cops have a poor image in this country. People are like, wow, why do people hate cops so much? I don't know. Maybe because there's a video right here of a cop literally cranking a Nazi's hog. There's never been more probable cause than right now. It is a symbol welded onto a motorcycle. It could not get more permanent. Whose side are you on, fat boy?
To the cops.
Much of the outrage fueled by his tattoos, which include a symbol known as the Jerusalem cross on his chest. Another saying Deus Vult, Latin for God wills it. and a common battle cry during the Crusades, the religious wars led by Catholics to convert Muslims a millennium ago. Those symbols also used by groups that associate with Christian identity. The Southern Poverty Law Center, which tracks hate groups, defines that as an anti-Semitic racist theology that asserts white people are favored by God in the Bible. That includes Christian nationalist and pro-Confederate groups, among those in full force during the January 6th Capitol attack.
The Deus Vult tattoo tends to signal more far-right extremism. I do not know of any mainstream Christian groups or leaders who have embraced that in the modern world.
A U.S. military official told our Courtney Kuby in November that those tattoos prevented Hegseth from being on the D.C. National Guard security detail for President Biden's 2021 inauguration, out of an abundance of caution for the symbol's alleged connections to those groups.
And even to the feds. At one show at Terminal 5, the Murphys' lead man, Ken Casey, saw one man rush the stage and throw up a Nazi salute. So what do? They stood on business, of course, and pummeled the fascists. He'd yell, "Nazis are not effing welcome," at a Dropkicks Murphys show, and the crowd would go berserk.
There was a phase that kind of happened where I liked making songs named after people. Like I did one called Bruce Wayne. And the ideas of the songs, like there's a song about Donald Trump, but the aura of the song is kind of...
I get it. Was he mad at you for a time too?
Well, at first he was really like, yeah, there's something with me, but then he was like threatening to sue me. He went on a Twitter rant. It was like...
Yeah, he does that.
Yeah, and it was all about me. He kept calling me Little Mac Miller, which is awesome. And then, like, I realized that, like, who does Donald Trump beef with? And it's me and Obama. So, like, hey, pretty...
So now he likes you, I understand, right?
Not after this interview.
Would you like to meet him?
Yeah.
I know him very well. I know him for years.
Let's remember Mac Miller's beef with Donald Trump.
A lot of people are calling me about the Mac Miller rap song. Now, it's named Donald Trump. Maybe you should pay me a lot of money, but it just hit over 20 million people tuning in to Mac Miller. So in one way, I'm proud of him. I haven't actually seen the language. It's a little bit hard to understand on the song itself. Probably it's not the cleanest language we've ever heard, but this kid is the new Eminem. Everybody says he's fantastic, and let's see what it is.
So at first, Trump loved it because of the numbers and even hinted at being paid for his name being used.
This is what I need y'all to do. I need y'all to go out, register, and vote. I need you to vote for anybody besides Donald Trump. Don't vote for Donald Trump. Because that crazy motherfucker. Wait.
Miller would tell his fans in the build-up to the 2016 election to vote for anyone but Trump. He was then asked what would happen if Trump became president by the outlet Genius.
I just don't want to think about that ever happening.
And he would troll the audience with his answer.
I had this song called Donald Trump, and it like went platinum, and this is before he had any political aspirations that I knew of. I guess he caught wind of it and just went off on Twitter, like, Little Mac Miller, I'm gonna sue you. Like, and he didn't stop until, like, this presidential election. Like, this went on for, like, 3 years. Like, every time something good would happen, like, he would tweet, oh, I heard Donald Trump by Mac Miller just went platinum. Tell Mac Miller to kiss my And then what else did he say? I'm gonna sue you. They threatened to sue us. And then, like, also because he was going to try and use the song, like, we didn't pay him. But, like, you know, I don't know. He didn't really have a case.
For, like, using his likeness then.
Right.
Try to get...
But the song was tight, so I didn't use any of his likeness.
Phenomenal answer at the end there. On Larry Wilmore's show, Miller stated in front of a Trump backdrop, "I effing hate you, Donald Trump. Rolling Stone would write, Miller then picked apart Trump's campaign slogan, Make America Great Again, which he says, in the context of his record of xenophobia and racism, is a thinly veiled way of saying Make America White Again. Miller slammed the candidate for lowering the bar for the nation's intelligence, my God, he was spot on, and doing everything he can to stay in the spotlight, even if it meant fueling the fire of hate groups, spot on again. Miller would quip, the messed up thing is, I don't even know if you're evil. I think you're just such an egomaniacal, attention-thirsty, psychopathic, power-hungry, delusional waste of skin and bones that you'll do, say, or allow anything if it means you'll just get one more minute in the limelight. Damn. The piece continues. In closing, Miller preempted his well-earned mic drop by promising that even if America did elect Donald Trump, he would not leave the country in protest. I'm staying right the F here, he would say. I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to be here every day telling the world how much I hate you, how much of a clown you are, and how we as a nation are better than you will ever be as a racist F-wad of a human. Trump did fire back time and time again. In reference to those tweets from Mac, here's what Trump wrote. Little Mac Miller, by the way, he called Marco Rubio the same thing. I have more hair than you do. He got a hair transplant a few times, according to doctors. And there's a slight age difference. Little Mac Miller, I want the money, not the plaque you gave me. Little Mac Miller, I'm now going to teach you a big boy lesson about lawsuits and finance, you ungrateful dog. Little Mac Miller, you illegally used my name for your song Donald Trump, which now has over 75 million hits. At the time, Miller, his 2011 Billboard charting hit, pushed him to fame, pled with fans not to vote for Trump, and voiced his support for the Black Lives Matter movement in December. On the track, Miller would say, and I quote, I hope it doesn't lead to people thinking I'm supporting his run. I made the song in 2011. It was just somebody who symbolized financial success to everybody at the time. Via CNN, Trump tweeted to or about Miller at least 50 times between 2011 and 2015. He finally dropped his beef in March 2015, about 3 months before he would announce his run for the presidency. In his final tweet about Mac, Trump wrote that Miller needed to come up with another hit. Just do it. Let's also not forget this epic takedown that he had of Trump on Comedy Central many years ago. There's a lot of takeaways here. The first is the fact that Trump threatened to sue Mac Miller over and over and over and over and over again is such a staple of this man's ego and how fragile it is. I highly recommend, by the way, that you all go watch The Apprentice, the movie, because not only through pieces that we have done about Roy Cohn, but the movie puts it in such a fantastic perspective of Trump's entire persona, his approach on life, his approach to those who are naysayers, that the best way to do it is to never admit fault, double, triple, quadruple down over and over and over, and sue. You threaten to sue, because that's what Roy Cohn did. So that's what he is doing. And that's why he continues to do it. I remember we covered a story, gosh, this was years ago, about an architect who designed the clubhouse at one of Trump's golf properties. And Trump intentionally stiffed this guy, small business owner, out of money. Said, well, you could sue me if you want, but you don't have the money to do that. And the architect took a lesser fee, less than half of what Trump said he would pay him. That's the kind of businessman that Trump is. It's the same guy who's filed for bankruptcy over and over again. That's him. I must also say that Mac Miller was great. He was great. And I felt like this next chapter, he was going to produce the best music that he would offer to date. The way that he was evolving as a musician, I just think it sucks, man. I was devastated when it happened. Still pretty devastated about it. Seeing these videos of him certainly to a degree carries on his legacy, but it just sucks. Seeing what he meant to so many and how his music touched so many, and that performance in LA where all of his friends came out, hearing Schoolboy Q when he's interviewed, I believe by Charlemagne, about Mac Miller, and he still gets teary-eyed. That is what he meant. He was a hilarious, like media savvy, quality rapper who just had fun. And he will never be replaced.